So why don't we go over ands. So let's say if x equals 5, and we also want to know if y is equal to 7 for some reason, right? But we don't want to have the difficult way to do this is put an if statement inside of here to check if x equals 5, and then if x equals 7 or y equals 7. That's a pain in the butt. No one wants to do that. So in Python, in Java, what you would do is like and, but that's confusing also. So you just write and, which is really simple. So and y equals 7. And in this case, you would get because these two are equal, you press run and you get into the if statement, the body of the if any of these, so and implies that both have to be true, right? Because and, like, I have to have my coffee and my eggs in the morning. I can't just have one. Like, that's unacceptable, right? Like, we live in a first world country. We have to have both eggs and coffee. Okay? If you don't drink coffee, well, too bad. But we have to have both in case of and. So if I set this to say 6, this would just not work. It would go into the else, right? It would check if both of these are correct. One of them is not correct. So it just doesn't enter the if statement and goes into the else and prints x is false in this case, but you can have it do whatever you want. There's also this thing called or, which is the kind of the opposite of and. You just need one of them to be true, any one of them to be true. And the beauty of Python is you can just keep on stacking these things. Or like we can create even a z variable equals 0, right? And then we can check if or z is less than, or let's say greater than negative 1, right? In Python, you can just keep on writing these or and, right? No problemo. In Java, it's a pain in the butt. You would have to redo the whole thing over again, or like it's just a pain in the butt. Anyways, in Python, really readable. So you have these or, and then so basically, if you guys are following at home, what has to be correct is any one of these just needs to be correct for this to process. Like I can change this to -2. I can change this to 5. And as long as x equals 5, like as long as that is true, which it is, it's gonna run and it's gonna say x is hurrah for some reason, right? That's the beauty of an or. And then you can also do it with and. In this case, it's obviously not going to be correct because not all of these are correct. So all 3 in this case have to be true for it to enter the body of the if statement. So that is if statements. You got else there too. There's something called an else if. So in this case, it's abbreviated L and then if. Oh, that's not what I want to do. L if, so else if. And you can write, say, so how this would execute is if this is not true, it would skip this. It wouldn't print hurrah. It would move into the elif statement, and now the elif statement is checking another condition. So y equals 5, right? Or say we set this to x equals 6. This is not true. X does not equal 6. It equals 5. So it would not go into here. But then it would check if y equals 5. It's kind of like an else, right? Say if this was 5, it wouldn't even enter here. It would never enter the else, because as long as the if is true, it would just print x is hurrah, and that's all you get. And it never enters. But if you change this to 6 and y is also equal to 5, you get x is false. However, obviously if y does not equal 5, you don't get that. You get nothing. And you can chain these. You can keep on going. You do elif, right? You can keep on going with the elifs. you can either add an else in there at the end. That's perfectly fine. It's going to check each condition. It's check if this is true, else if this is true, else if this is true, else if this is true. And if none of those are correct, or none of those are true, it's just going to print what's under the else. Does that make sense for everyone?
Hey, Ken,
Yes.
for declaring Boolean variables, can you declare like different Boolean variables under different names, or do you have to use that
Oh,
result?
no. Sorry. This was just a name I made up. It's probably not even a good name because like it's giving me an error. There's probably some specific thing that bool is in Python, so you can set it to whatever you want. Did like did I eat breakfast? Uh, Actually, you know what? Don't use the camel case. In Python, we use underscores. Did I eat breakfast? Right? I'm pretty sure. There's just some formatting things in Java. You use camel case, which is you like uppercase the first letter of each word. Python, yeah, in Python we use underscores. So use underscores. Did I eat breakfast? It's true because I did eat breakfast today. You can also write something like did he eat breakfast or whatever, right? Did or is the sky blue? You can write false for that if you want. Sure, these are both variables. They're kind of long and lengthy, and these aren't great names for variables. When you're making variables, you don't want to have these boring names, X, Y, Z. Those are terrible names because you have no idea what they represent. They're just some letter, right? This is more descriptive. So if you're making some kind of like, I don't know, some learning algorithm that checks if you should do something, if something, you can create did I eat breakfast as one of the variables. Probably wouldn't make any sense, but this is descriptive, right? It makes sense for you guys reading the code.